Perfectionism is not about high standards. It's about fear dressed as high standards. The perfectionist delays not just because they care more than other people about quality. They delay because they're afraid of judgment, of failure, of being seen and found wanting. The revision that never ends is not dedication. It's an avoidance with a better story. And the tragedy is that perfectionism destroys more good work than laziness ever has. Because work that is never done cannot do what it was made to do. The book never published cannot help anyone. The conversation never started cannot change anything. The project never launched cannot succeed or fail. It just sits, perfect in potential, but useful to no one. Today we're going to work through with what perfectionism is actually protecting, because there's always something it's protecting. And we're going to begin to loosen that grip. So when you're ready, find a comfortable position, either seated or lying down, and take a few slow, deep breaths. All right. Take a deep breath and let it out completely. Bring to mind something that you've been perfecting rather than completing. Something real. Something that's been sitting in revision or delay because it's just not quite ready. And hold that in your awareness. Now I want you to ask yourself, what is the fear underneath that not quite readiness? What exactly are you afraid will happen if this is seen before it's perfect? And when you name that, even internally, whether that's, I'm afraid they'll think I'm not as capable as they thought. I'm afraid it won't work and I'll have no excuses left. I'm afraid of being seen fully and being rejected. Those are real fears. And they're not stupid fears. They developed for a reason. Now here is something important that I want to share. The perfectionism doesn't prevent the fear from being realized. It just delays the moment of exposure indefinitely. The thing you fear, being found seen or wanting, is already what's happening every day you don't release the work. You're already living in the tension, with that tension. You're just not getting the potential upside. So what would be different if you let the imperfect version out into the world? I want to offer you a reframe. The first version of everything is supposed to be imperfect. Not because standards don't matter, but because nothing is finished in the first iteration. The feedback loop, releasing, learning, adjusting, is how good work actually becomes good. The perfectionism that prevents the first release is preventing the very process through which quality develops. Good enough to release is not the same as not caring about quality. It's the actual path to quality. Now take another deep breath and feel into your body. Where does this perfectionism live in you physically? Notice anywhere where there's tightening a holding or bracing, or the weight of what's left unfinished. What would it feel like in the body to let one thing just be done? Now take another deep breath. You don't have to resolve all of this today. One thing. Release one thing that is good enough, and let the world have it. The fear doesn't go away before you release. It goes away after. That's the only order that this works in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.